you guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a Skywars commentary because, as you can see, I'm still not at 10,000 kills. So this commentary is going to be about how me and Tom, or Big One, he was in my other videos, we went skiing today, right? So I'm going to talk about that. Yeah. So let's just hop into the first game. So first, I'll tell you about the resort we went to. So I won't tell you the name just because people, internet, knowing where I am, weird. So basically, it's about an hour and a half away from where Tom and I live, right? And first of all, because social distance, we had to wear a mask the whole time in the car, but we also had to eat breakfast in the car because we were going early, so that was interesting. Basically, my mom and I just ended up sitting in the front seat and eating there, and then Tom was in the back. So that was kind of weird, but it worked out fine. So the next thing that happened is we got there, right? It took a while, but it was fine. You know, we got there eventually. And first thing that was weird that was rentals, right? So since it's President's Day weekend, a lot of people were there. And basically, the rentals line, like, you know, there's usually like a building that rentals are in. It was like all the way around that building. Like the start of the line was, the end of the line was by the entrance to the rentals. So it had gone like all the way around the building. It was not a good line. And the thing about this is that Tom needed rentals, but I needed rentals, but Tom didn't. So basically, what Tom had to do is he basically just had to wait outside while my mom and I just got the rentals. Must have been super awkward for Tom because it was like a full hour. We were just chilling and waiting for the rentals. That guy just flew. So anyways, we're going to the rentals, right? And after we get the rentals, you know, everything fits. It's not like anything weird happened. But the lifts were the first thing we noticed. So if you don't know, in skiing there's like ski lifts and you go up them, and that's like the whole idea of how you get to the slopes. This guy's just camping up here. But the ski lifts were super busy because President's Day weekend again, and that was not fun. But eventually, you know, we got to the top of the first slope, and here's what I'll talk about, like the difficulty of how hard it is to do these skiing. So if you don't know, the way skiing works is there are 4 like standard types of difficulties. So there's greens, which are like super easy. Those can either be bunny hills, so there can just be like not very steep hills. There's blues, which are like intermediate. They're like when I'm like pretty decent at skiing, like when I've gone for a while, I can do blues like pretty easily. So I like blues. Blues are fun. Next, there's blacks, which like they have these things called moguls, which basically just make your life painful. That's kind of the idea of moguls. And basically, Tom and I, this guy's good at Minecraft. I'm telling you, this guy's played Minecraft in the past. He's okay. So the thing about Tom and I is that we're not very amazing at skiing. So we do greens and blues. But the thing is, right? We have not been skiing this season, right? So it's much more difficult. What is it? Okay, I'm having a good time. What is this guy doing? Anyways, it's much more difficult for us to like do well just because we haven't gone that season, right? Also, I've only been to the resort we went to one time, and that was like 2 years ago, and he's never been. So it was an interesting situation. So we get up the first lift, we do some greens, it's pretty easy, right? And then eventually it's lunchtime because, you know, it took so freaking long for us to do the come on. Yeah! Okay, it took so freaking long for me to get the rental. So after all that hassle, you know, we do like 4 runs because of the freaking long lift lines. And then we get to have lunch, right? Lunch was really good. We had pizza. I just threw out pants. We had pizza. It was really good. Lunch was a highlight of the day, right? And then after that, we go out in the afternoon. And since Tom and I are both very, like, even though we know each other very well, we're still both very socially awkward for some reason. So we just don't know what to talk about on the lift. So it's getting weird, getting awkward. And eventually, we meet up with another friend from our school, right? And that friend is very nice and social. And she's also very good at skiing, right? I just won that game because that guy was just AFK. But anyways, this person's very good at skiing, right? And when we meet her, right, she's like, oh, let's go down some blues. And Tom and I are like, okay, sure. I mean, we haven't done any of those. What's the worst that could happen? We could fall? That's exactly what happened. So I fell at the end, but Tom, see, a guy, like, crossed in front of him. And that's how he fell. And also what happened to Tom is after he got back up from falling, he, like, didn't, like, put his ski pole on his, like, hand properly or something. I don't know. But basically, he dropped the pole, and then he didn't realize for a second, so he had to, like, walk back up on the mountain using the ski things. And if you know anything about skiing, that is not fun because those things are heavy, and it's, like, really hard to walk up a mountain because it's a mountain. Eventually, we get to the bottom of that. Everything's good, right? And we finish off the day by doing some really easy runs with that friend we were talking about, right? But then the day isn't over yet because when we have to drive home, it is like icy rain on the drive home. It wasn't even icy rain at the resort at all. Like, I have no idea why the drive home was so insane. But did I just kill that guy? He just threw like 6 pearls. How was he on full health? Give me a second. Alright. Anyways. So, we're going home, right? It's like icy rain. That's not the best, especially like if you're driving, like for my mom, and you have 2 idiots in the car like me and Dom, right? It's not the best situation. So, somehow we get home without like crashing the car or like falling into a dune of snow, even though we like took like 5 wrong turns at the beginning because I'm very good at reading the GPS. We get home, right? So everything about that trip was kind of weird, but it all worked out in eventuality, right? So now I'm going to talk about the other ski trips I've been on, right? Most of the ski trips I go on, they go actually much more smoothly than that. We go to this other resort that's like farther away, and we go for a few days. I think it's more expensive because that's what like the person who's good at snowboarding told me that we met today, but it doesn't really matter. I'm killing spiders are cool. That guy was good. Anyways, at that resort, I'm actually pretty good. Like, there aren't that many good people at the resort, so I do pretty well at the resort. I'm very glad I killed that guy because he had a KB run. But anyways, I do pretty well at the resort. Like, I'm pretty proud of myself, especially because I barely ever ski. Like, I ski, like, I don't know, twice a year. And basically, at that other resort, I can do blues. But at this resort, I obviously couldn't do blues because I fell. So, it's kind of weird that they're different, even though they're, like, only, like, 1 state away. If you don't know, I live in the U.S. So, they're 1 state away. Another thing I noticed, because it also could be related to why I couldn't do the blue properly at the resort I went to today, right? If you go for a day to, a skiing or snowboarding resort, and you only go skiing or snowboarding, like, once or twice a year, you're not going to be warmed up at the beginning of the day. So basically, by the end of the day, I felt like, wow, I could do like this blue all day. I mean, I only did it once because Tom didn't want to do it after he fell. But anyways, I could do this blue all day, right? But I can't because I have to go home because the resort's like a while away, and also it started sleeting and snowing and all that stuff. So anyways, conclusion is, you should always snowboard. I'm really good at speaking in PvP in Minecraft. Alright, so in conclusion, you should always ski for more than 2 days at a time, because then you can get warmed up, and when you're warmed up and like loose and you're able to have fun with it, that's when it's the best, because fun is the goal, unless you're like competitively skiing. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day, and see ya. And just FYI, I know that end was rushed. It was because I had to go to dinner in a second, and I didn't really feel like recording another outro. So yeah, here's your explanation for that. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.